Hello, Mercenaries is gonna release soon, and we need to talk about it. I've had a lot of people ask me about Mercenaries and for me to share some insight, so that's exactly what this video is gonna be about. You'll also see some gameplay in the background. I'm trying something out, so I'm trying to combine gameplay with me discussing a topic, kind of like the old school, like 2015-16 Call of Duty montages on YouTube, where it's just like gameplay and someone narrating or talking over it about whatever the hell they wanted. That's this video, but for Hearthstone, so let me know what you think down below. Anyway, Mercenaries. So it's releasing soon, I think next week, and it is gonna be a big deal, even though you might not like to hear that. So people are also kind of turning around. At first, when the release or when people teased Mercenaries, there was a big backlash because of like them pushing packs and the money around it, and the mode seemed very pay to win, right? But recently I've heard a lot of people being excited to give it a go, myself included, a lot of content creators included, just want to try it out for a specific reason, and that is that Mercenaries might just be like the future of Hearthstone, or it is a really important drop. Why? Because Hearthstone right now, it's dipping. Like, Battlegrounds viewers kind of dipping, YouTube is dipping. In general, there's nothing happening. There's like very little updates. The meta seems okay. Things are just kind of the same right now, right? Everyone is kind of just getting used to the game, and it's dropping off. Same with Standard. Standard, I don't know too much about Standard, but from what I've heard, everything is dropping as well. There's just not much attention going into events right now. Like, how long has it been since we had a good Hearthstone event? Things are just kind of flatlining, which is scary. In every single niche, like even Arena. I mean, Arena never got anything, to be fair. Duel. So Mercenaries is gonna be massive. It's gonna be the new thing that arises, that is exciting, because we're getting so little right now. Things are so kind of the same, that having a big thing like this drop, like a massive update, you can say, or like new mode, is going to be impactful. And depending on how successful Mercenaries is, I think it's kind of gonna be gonna show you how successful Hearthstone is gonna be in the upcoming years, if it's even gonna last multiple years, because Hearthstone is an old game. Let's not forget, Hearthstone has been around for a while, longer than most games, and stayed relevant for longer than most games. So what they have to do is to either like keep on innovating, keep on doing fun events and things like that, or drop something new, which is Mercenaries. So there's a lot of weight on the shoulders of Mercenaries, and I kind of want it to do good, because if Mercenaries does well, it could revive Hearthstone and push it into a new era. But at the same time, I don't want it to be doing too well, because it might mean that Battlegrounds slacks off and there will be like less time being put in Battlegrounds and other modes, and more time into Mercenaries means you never get like esports, which at this point I've just given up, honestly, and that they're just gonna full push Mercenaries. Anyway, because Mercenaries is also instantly on the home screen. Let's not forget, Hearthstone is now a mode. It's kind of crazy that Hearthstone, Standard and stuff, it's a mode, and Battlegrounds isn't even considered Hearthstone. Battlegrounds button is right underneath the Hearthstone button, so what is like Battlegrounds is treated as something completely independent, almost kind of wild. Mercenaries instantly going on the home screen, so they're going all in. So let's talk about it being pay to win. Most people have been thinking that, yeah, it's pay to win because the bundles are so expensive, they're just pushing it. We don't even really know what we get, at least I don't. I looked a bit into it and I still don't really understand everything. I feel like I need to watch like 2 hours of gameplay and of the game in order to understand it. And I like going into things blind. I don't like learning too much about it beforehand, seeing other people play it. I really like experiencing it. That's the same what I did with Battlegrounds. I knew a little bit about it, but I wanted to hold some things in secret so I could just jump into the game and learn them myself. I think that's the fun thing about video games. Instead of looking up everything beforehand, that you can just jump into it and have fun. That's the same reason why like announcement or like reveal streams are not liked by everyone, because it's just the famous streamers that get to try out new cards for a new patch and stuff like that, and yeah, not everyone enjoys that, myself included. I mean, it's fun to see other people experiment with it, but they get to play it before you, and it kind of ruins the fun of just getting to try it yourself, if that makes sense. Also, real quick, the droid game in the background, I'll comment from time to time on it. We just did a power level, which was kind of YOLO, and we ended up getting some good pirates. And yeah, the George game is gonna be a very sexy pirate game. That's why I included it. I like pirates a lot, especially on George. And this one was beautiful, so hope you're enjoying what's going on in the back. Yeah, I don't know if it's pay to win. I think we can only know for sure if the game gets released and we see over the weeks if you can play it free to play. Because standard you can play free to play, but it is incredibly hard and incredibly grindy. Battlegrounds is free to play. I mean, you can spend 2,000 gold. That's not that much on like 2 more hero options, which is completely fine. And everything is skins that you can buy with real money. So I think it's like the model for Battlegrounds is fine, but that means that Hearthstone doesn't get too much money from Battlegrounds. So yeah, if Mercenaries becomes pay to win, then I'm not gonna play it, that's for sure. And I think a lot of other people are not gonna do that either, because Hearthstone has always been a game for casuals. Like, it's a mobile game, people just like playing card games on a mobile. It's always gonna be catered towards not the tryhards that want to spend $1,000 a year, you know, if that makes sense. And I also don't want to do that. So I don't think personally Mercenaries is going to be pay to win. I think you can grind it and it's not going to be too much of an issue, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm just going to stop talking about pay to win because I think it is very a very split opinion. Now I do want to talk about other modes probably getting less attention, because it seems like they're very aggressively marketing and marketing Mercenaries and trying to get a lot of money out of it, because I feel like Hearthstone in general hasn't been making, like, it's in a decline. It's not been making a lot of money recently. I think definitely after all the controversies, like, people are stepping away from the game. So I feel like this is their last ditch effort to try and make a good profit. And if it does make a good profit, I feel like they'll go all in on Mercenaries. Since it's not a game mode anymore, it's literally on the homepage. It could be treated as an independent thing. So yeah, we'll see, and that means that they might just stop working too much on other modes because they're not profitable enough, if that makes sense. One thing they said though is that everyone has, like, every mode has different teams. Like, the Battlegrounds is a completely different design team from standard, so they actually don't interact that much together, I think I've heard. So like, money from this and there doesn't really interact with each other, but I don't know the structure of Blizzard. I don't know how they work. I don't know how much a mode doing well and a mode doing bad influences each other in decision making, but I feel like it has to, right? Like, if from a corporate standpoint, it only makes sense to me that if you have a successful mode, that you're putting more time into it than the other modes. And again, I've talked about this multiple times. I'm gonna bring it up again. Hearthstone can be much more successful than it is. There's so many ways to make Hearthstone so much money, make it so much more famous. Like, in Battlegrounds, there's so many better things they can do. Esports is a real thing, but apparently they don't believe in it. There's, oh my god, I'm gonna stop the ramble. We're gonna talk about Mercenaries. I'm not gonna go over all the stuff that Blizzard can do better again, because I can keep on doing that. So Mercenaries, again, one thing that I'm also scared of when I saw the gameplay or when they talked about it is that it seems rock, paper, scissors heavy. So I think 2 things are gonna happen, one of 2. So first of all, either people play all the 3 different classes, or 4, I think there's 3, right? And they're just gonna have like teams that can interact with everything, so everyone has a bit of everything, so you don't just instantly lose or win. Or it's just gonna be a gamble. You just play rock, paper, scissors every time. You stack your team with one element, like fire, and then just go in, and if you face someone, it's water, fire, I don't know what the third one is. If you face that guy, you just completely smack him. If you face water, you just completely lose. So it could be very polarized, or it could be very balanced. I'm a little bit scared to find out which one it's gonna be. I hope, of course, it's the balanced one, but maybe people will figure out, I have better odds if I just full stack my team with one element and just try and high roll some matchups. That could be the case. It also probably feels bad if you face one of those teams. I don't know how PvP is gonna work. Like, I've seen a little bit of it, but it seems very matchup dependent from what I think, and that is not a good thing. That is very unfun to play. But again, I could be wrong. I haven't tried the game. It's not like I got early access. I can only use the information that's available to me, so the videos, and what I can speculate, like what I think the game is gonna feel like. Also, this George game with Pirates is going pretty good. We got a big looter, we got a bunch of pairs, 2 of the money guys. And I think next turn we pop off, right? It's turn 7 now, going into turn 8. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We got the Paggies, and you'll see what happens. But another thing that I'm scared of with Mercenaries, like, it's a fresh mode. It introduces a lot of new things. It looks pretty cool, but it seems like it might get repetitive. From what I've seen the gameplay, I actually watched a couple of games and already got tired of watching, which is not a good thing. Reason being, it just felt like it's all kind of the same. Also, there's a lot of PvE. Some people like being able to just play against bots. There's a lot of people playing dungeon runs because they enjoy the storyline. I think it's the minority though. I don't think there's that many people, but I remember when I was in university, I knew like 2 guys that played Hearthstone, and one of them just only played dungeon runs on their phone because they thought it was fun. I'm not like that. I hate dungeon runs and solo player stuff. I like PvP. I like the interaction with players and like leaderboards and stuff like that, because I'm a competitive player. I don't think everyone is a competitive player, but still. So PvE is not for me. I'm not gonna have too much fun playing against bots, so I would definitely just put all my focus into the PvP. So I hope the PvP is well thought out. I hope it has rankings, which I don't know if it has that. I don't think it has, right? Of course, like all of this, you can always leave a comment down below if I'm wrong about something, or if you have more insight. I want to talk about the game. I think it's really cool to discuss this because it's happening soon, guys. It's literally right around the corner, so we can discuss as much as possible. I'm obviously gonna make content about it, because guess what, I'm a content creator. It's the new big thing that's gonna come out, and I want to try it, and maybe I'll like it. Who knows, maybe I enjoy it so much and it does well, so I'll just switch to that. I'll still always enjoy Battlegrounds, I think, because it's near and dear to my heart, but I could maybe switch it up. Again, only if PvP is fun and good. PvE, I really don't care that much about, because I feel like as soon as you're maxed out, you kind of can't go higher anymore, right? I've never liked games where you just like upgrade your stuff, because that means that eventually you hit a ceiling, and then what? Right? I don't enjoy that, because newcomers always have a disadvantage, and people who have been in the game for a while always have an advantage. That's just strictly how it works. While in Battlegrounds, it doesn't matter if you're new or if you're advanced. If you're good at the game, like, you can get good at the game in a couple days. You can definitely practice it and get insanely good. Same probably with Mercenaries, but again, you need to upgrade characters. Imagine if that was the case for Battlegrounds. It's just completely different. I think it's so different, which could either be a good thing or a bad thing. And also, I want to compare it to other modes real quick. So the reason why I think it is going to get old soon, and we saw that with duels, is like in Battlegrounds, you can change up the meta insanely quickly. You just nerf a couple cards, introduce some new heroes, a new tribe. Things can shift super quickly. In Standard, there's like cards, literally half the cards rotating every year. New cards being introduced every like couple months. It is great. Like, things shake up a lot, although I don't really see how they're gonna do that in Mercenaries. Like the PvE bosses, are they gonna change them like once in a while? They'll probably rotate some characters, like maybe they'll rotate some heroes that you can take or play, or heroes that you can't take or play. Nerfs are probably gonna come through, like if things are broken, but I feel like as soon as something is strong, people are just gonna go for that. Like, if people figured out these are the best heroes, everyone's gonna go for that. If people figure out these are the worst, they're gonna avoid that. And this is the best team, everyone takes the best team and goes with that to like whatever, right? Like, you can probably do tutorials on, well, how to beat this dungeon or this roadmap or this boss, and then you just form that team. It's pretty simple. I don't enjoy that dynamic, because in Standard, if something is strong, if one of the decks is the best, you still gotta learn how to play the deck, which I think is harder in Standard than it's gonna be in Mercenaries, because it seems like you only have a couple abilities that you can spam. While in Standard, you still gotta know all of your matchups. You gotta know how to like what to do in this situation, what deck cards can you switch out. So I think the skill cap there is higher. There's a lot of issues that I see compared to other modes. It seems hard to switch up and make it seem fresh every single time, right? It just seems like a grindy game. And also, if nerfs come true, another thing, if you grinded a character like super high level and you spend like days on it and suddenly it gets nerfed, what do? Do you get a refund? I assume you're gonna get some sort of extra refund. In Standard, you get dust back. So you should probably get like the special, I don't even know what it's called in Mercenaries, that special coin back, so you can buy new characters. I don't know. I'm just not sure about the intricacies or about how it's gonna function compared to other modes, because every single time I think about how it does, it just seems like it's a little bit worse. But again, it's completely different. I could be wrong. I don't have too much experience with these kind of games. Just me speculating, and I want to know your guys' thoughts as well. Yeah, and that's about it, what I had to share from Mercenaries, because it seems like they gave us info, we have some transparency, but we gotta play the game before I can be real here. Also, like I said, I want to keep some things kind of secret. I haven't seen too much gameplay because I want to go into it blind. I think it's more fun to explore it for yourself and to see it for yourself than it is just learning it all beforehand, you know. So that's it. I want to talk quickly about Battlegrounds though, if video's not over. Also, let's look at this game. We got a golden Peggy, golden money guy. The money guy works with Peggy. The coins it generates gives us buffs on the board. We got a looter, even the selfless, even though we're George. We dropped pretty low, but we'll recover. Trust me, I found Hogger. So it only goes up from here. APM stuff incoming. The BG meta, it's been wild. A lot of playable stuff. As you can see, I'm winning with pirates. Mechs are still king of the hill. I think mechs will always be at the top. It's just kind of bullshit right now. If you find Buster, it's nuts. One thing I'll give with you guys is that if you hit triples right now, don't, or try not to go into fives. I've noticed, and I've talked to other people as well, that 5 drops are just not really what they used to be. There's only a couple of good 5s, like Nomi is amazing and Mama Bear, but you need to be a good hero for those. You need to be a hero that can generate elementals, like Millhouse can roll out if you have the recycling Rave. Jandis is decent with both of them, and like Mama Bear, you just gotta be able to fill the board out with beasts. Even though beasts are actually like, they're decent, but they're worse off than they were before. They're playable, but I don't see them getting too many first places anymore, unless it's super high roll. So you rather take 6s. 6s have like more spikes, more potential. You have like Eliza still, which is busted. Buster, of course, a Mega Buster, which is one of the best cards in the game. It's insane tempo, it's insane late game, it has potential, it's crazy. Yeah, tier 5 just doesn't have that. Tier 4 as well, like tripling into an early 4, and let's say turn 5, 7 gold is decent. You got Greasebot. You got the Drake, even the Promo Drake is pretty good. I've tripled into Promo Drake a couple of times last time, and I've come to realize that it's a pretty good card, because if you find one Taragosa, you have some great scaling. I even outscaled a Kalagos Nadina player just using Promo Drake and Taragosa. That's it. And then later on, I did find a Nadina, but that Taragosa literally value traded 3 of this guy's dragons. It's insane. Because it starts scaling so early on. Not even with HysteriA. I was playing Lord Barrow. I think it's a previous video. Yeah, that's part of that game. So, tier 4, great stuff. Tier 6, great stuff. Tier 5, okay stuff, but you gotta be able to make it work. It's easy to miss as well. It's not a sin to triple into a 5, okay? I do it myself as well. If it's clean, if it works out, if it's a good lobby, just don't get overly baited by that. So the meta also was very tempo-ish, like you just try and play for hard tempo. As you can see, I'm like 9 HP here, and very often I'm scared of dying because people are just so strong, constantly putting max tempo on the board. I was even playing a game for max tempo and I lost every fight early on. It's stupid. And then you have people that level to 5 and take a couple 6s without taking damage, but that's again a hero problem, not a meta problem. There are just too many OP heroes in the game right now, too many heroes that deal too much damage or just generate too much triples, too many triples and too much value and money. Hook does, Jen does, you know, the usual stuff, right? So that's something that I wish they still address at some point, but I've complained so much about it, nothing has ever changed. So I don't think things will change. I think those heroes will still stay in the game for a while. I also mentioned this, if there's a patch coming for Battlegrounds, that there doesn't need to be much addressed. Like, the meta is very healthy, a lot of playable stuff. If there's something that needs to be addressed, it's still the heroes, right? I think other than that, an Omega Buster, and maybe Mech Hero. Mechs just need to be addressed. Everything else is fine for me right now. I think that the last nerfs were some of the best nerfs ever. If you haven't seen that video yet where I talk about the nerfs, I say that they're basically all amazing. Not a single bad one. nothing was killed. Dragons is still playable. People thought mid-game dragons were killed because of the Whelp Smuggler being nerfed. Totally not true. Whelp Smuggler is still an okay card to find sometimes. I think they did an amazing job, and I hope that they will revisit this, because I've seen two opinions. People saying the meta is amazing and it's great, and I agree, it is fun. But I've also seen people hating this meta so much because it feels like there is nothing you can do about it. Like, some games are just non-game still, which is an issue that's been around for ages. It will always be in the game, it seems like. But that is something for the devs to figure out. So we haven't had a patch in a while. I think there's... I forgot the date for when the Mercenaries releases, but I assume on Mercenaries release date, very often when they do a big patch, there's like small side patches. Like if they release a new mode or they do a big standard patch, like they reintroduce new cards or whatever, they very often do like small fixes for Battlegrounds and duels and stuff like that. Although I do think Battlegrounds is in a healthy state, so I hope they don't think, oh, it's fine, we don't need to do anything for Battlegrounds. They're well off. I hope they do realize that there's still some frustrating things about the game, and they will look at that. If not, what can we do about it, right? As you can see also, I froze the second hugger, so we're finally about to do APM stuff, even though we got a massive... That's the fun thing about pirates right now. Even though we have a massive salty looter, we only have one hugger and didn't have a hugger for a while, we still have a massive salty looter. We have a massive Peggy, a massive gold guy, I don't know his name, the dude that gives you a coin. So even though we actually can't infinitely buy stuff, we're still generating massive stats. And because we're George, of course, we can give everything Divine Shields. That helps as well. But this opponent had a ghoul. Even if our opponent ghouling us and having poison, we're able to beat this. So I think pirates, they are playable. I'm gonna say it. It's one of the more underrated tribes. Same with Murlocs and Flurgle. Heroes that force stuff right now are actually well off. I remember heroes that force stuff always being bad because you would have to force it, and if you don't find it, you lose. Like HysteriA was bad for a while, Patches, Flurgle, they all suck because you gotta find the good stuff. But right now it is just so consistent. Like with Patches, it's so easy to find good pirates, with Peggy now being on tier 4, adding you more value, and the new tree drop, that is amazing, and Captain being back on tier 2 after removing it. It is really great. Another thing, I'm popping off by the way. And then HysteriA, of course, with the mid-game dragons being amazing. Now you have good scaling, an actual way to pop off in the mid-game. So HysteriA, obviously great hero. And then Flurgle, I think Flurgle is one of the most underrated. If you look at the tier list as well from 2 days ago or 3 days, I don't remember. You can see Flurgle being A tier, and some people even put him S tier. I think J. Carrick put him S tier, don't want to be wrong. I know some guy put it S tier, and I was hesitant to put it S as well, but I think the majority put it A and B, so I kept it in A tier. I think it is so good if you know how to play him. So I would say practice those heroes. Practice heroes that force stuff and learn how to force without overcommitting. Because if you just doom roll and don't find your pieces and die, that's not a good way to gain MMR. But learn from this game how to play pirates. Just get the good pieces, forehead, just roll the salty looter and the Peggy. I got kind of lucky, can't complain. I mean, not on the hugger, but on the other pieces. And mechs, I mean, you don't need to learn mechs, right? You just pick stuff with Divine Shields and you're fine. So it is now top 2 against this dude. I basically talked about everything that I had to talk about. Very short recap. Mercenaries. Yeah, we'll see. I'm very scared and very excited at the same time. It's a strange feeling to both have so much on the line, right? Because I talk a lot about content creation lately. It's something I'm very passionate about. On Twitter, on YouTube, I talk about the behind the scenes on what I'm thinking about this channel. Because it's near and dear to my heart, even though a lot of people don't care, maybe. But yeah, I had a great talk as well with RegisKillbin, and Zeddy came in there, and about the future and like the projection of subscribers on YouTube, or just people watching and enjoying the game and leaving the game unsubs, and it is spooky. So Mercenaries is gonna be a big deal for everyone, and depending on the success of it, either people will leave the game if it's horrible, either things will stay the same and slowly, gradually go downhill, or it will be a big boost, revive the game. But in that case, it might mean that other modes go downhill and Mercenaries just skyrockets, which I hope is not the case. Unless, one thing as well I'm hopeful for is that maybe they will, like, I've seen a lot of people being rehired, like a lot of new people joining their teams, and like they're them looking for a lot of new people or employees to join them in this journey, which is good because we need fresh people, we need young people that understand how the new age like marketing works, because I feel like most marketing for Hearthstone has been terrible. Let's look at how they market their esports. They barely even send a tweet. They went to YouTube and killed their entire viewer base. When it comes to live streaming, they just made so many terrible decisions. We need someone in charge that makes good decisions, and if that happens, I have faith again. So again, things can turn around. We have a very caring dev team. Then yeah, the BG meta, once again, a short recap as well. Not much changed. It is tempo-ish. You can still get away with high rolls. There's game they were triple into early 6s and still win, so you don't always die in a spot playing greedy. And here's the final fight. A beautiful, I think it's final fight at least. A beautiful board, full Divine Shield, massive Pirates. I didn't pop off that much with APM, but I popped off just enough. I even have a Selfless thrown in there for a good measure, even though this guy ghouls me, has a golden Selfless, double Amalgadon, and a bunch of poison. Pirates just get it done again, which is great. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought of this format. Do you enjoy me just rambling over some gameplay? Because I have done just gameplay videos in the past. I think everyone does that. I think it's kind of cool. Right now I talked about Mercenaries, but I can talk about literally whatever, right? As long as you guys enjoy the gameplay and enjoy what I'm talking about. Yeah, let it down. No, oh my god, English. Why do I fuck up the end? Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet.